One of the things that you do have to recognize, though, and I want to make sure that you are cautious about asset protection, is that when you heard the State of the Union address, it is quite obvious that it's not going to be easier to get government benefits into the future. So that's something you always want to keep in mind. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of the estate planning documents that I see on a regular basis and some of the issues that come up when there's a little bit of a medical issue. The husband and wife will is something that most people set up in their 40s and 50s because they want everything to go back and forth, the husband and wife. But where the problem arises is if one of them is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Because now, if the well spouse dies first, all the assets are going to go to the spouse that has Alzheimer's, who ultimately needs long-term care. So can we do something about that? Well, yes, we have the I love you dearly, but estate plan. And the but part is we are going to change the will for the well spouse to point the assets to the children. And then we're going to put most of the assets in the name of the well spouse. So that if something happens to that spouse, the children get the funds, and they will take care of the parent that has issues, but at least that money is going to be preserved. So again, that's an issue that's not very obvious if you think about it. The key document that I need to do my job, and if you don't remember anything else from today, is that you have to have a financial power of attorney in place. You have to have a financial power of attorney. And you have to have a powerful power of attorney. Because if you download one from the internet, you will never know if it's powerful, because you won't have the ability to decide, do I have all the clauses I need? So the internet's a great place to get some additional information, pretty tough place to draft good documents. And one of the clauses that we like to see is a gifting clause, and we want to make sure it's not limited like this power of attorney, because the gift is limited to the amount of the annual exclusion allowed from federal gift tax, which currently is $13,000 per person. Because as we all know, if you give away more than $13,000 per person, you have to pay gift tax, correct? Yes? Right? Every answer's been no. I'd be careful saying yes. I'm an optimist, so I will switch to yes shortly. But the answer is no. You have to report the gift, but you don't pay gift tax till you give away $1 million. So for most of us and our parents, that's probably not a big issue. So that's something that you want to be aware of, that you have this powerful power of attorney. So it's very critical that you have those documents. The final document is the revocable living trust. And I really like this because it protects all of your assets. You put them in the revocable trust and then nobody can touch them. Correct? Oh, you've caught on. You're listening. I'm glad to hear that. Yes, Joe talked about it, so he kind of let the cat out of the bag, so I was just seeing if you're paying attention. Revocable living trust does not protect assets. Revocable living trust is a probate avoidance vehicle. It does a nice job of getting the assets to the beneficiaries without going through probate. And in fact, if your trust says that the trustee shall pay all necessary medical expenses of the beneficiary from income and principal in the trust estate, that means not only can you not protect the assets, but they're earmarked to go for long-term care. So if you have a revocable trust, you may want to put some more Medicaid-friendly language into that by getting it amended so that you have an opportunity to go ahead and rearrange the estate. Because we've talked about a couple of programs. You sometimes have to do some additional planning in order to be able to get those benefits. Now, this may all seem confusing, and sometimes you wonder, what is the answer? Well, when I listened to President Obama, it was pretty obvious to me that the government is going to restrict assets, access to these government programs as we go into the future. It's not going to get easier to qualify. And so, therefore, the time to plan is now. We talked at the beginning, the fact that you are here means you're ready to plan. And you want to act now. You want to make sure you have the documents in place so the window is open. You want to make sure that you've looked at how can I get to these programs? Can I qualify for VA benefits? If I need at-home care or I want to go to assisted living, can I use VA benefits to do that? If I'm at home and I'm well, do I want to go ahead and put some things in place so that I have saved something for my children? Because most of my clients say, I didn't work so hard and sacrifice so much so that all of my money be used for a nursing home.